Hello everybody, this is going to be my video for the What If episode 7, which is what if Thor were an only child? And in contrast to the last episode before this, episode 6, this, might end up being like my favorite episode of the series so far, at least. And of course, assume you've watched the episode, spoilers, etc. Basically, uh, this episode kind of takes the sort of high school, oh, parents aren't home, so let's party type genre and basically applies it to Thor. And the key difference that, led to the episode, as the name suggests, is Odin deciding to not adopt Loki and instead returning him to his people, which, you know, Thor led to Thor retaining his carefree, cocky behavior, and he was never banished by Odin. He never learned any of those lessons that he would have learned had he had Loki as a brother growing up. And episode starts off with Odin going into the Odin sleep, time for him to recharge his power, and Frigga tells Thor no parties, because the like all the nine realms are basically left into Thor's hands while Odin is in the Odin sleep, and so Frigga says like no parties before going off to have like some drinks with her friends, like kind of hypocritical, but at least she's not going to go destroy anything. Uh, but of course, Thor doesn't listen, uh, and he sends word to all the realms. It's time to party on Midgard, and it's so strange. I guess I guess with his charm alone, Thor has basically been able to befriend and tame everybody in the realms, because we see plenty of should be villains arriving at the party. Surtur, Nebula. Well, she's not necessarily a villain, just a kind of an anti-hero. But and but Loki's there, and the other frost giants are there, and Loki has especially at this time he would be adversarial to Thor, because he's kind of sort of jealous, wants his own throne, but he doesn't have that issue if he's given his own throne, the Ice Giants people. Uh, and now under like Loki, the Frost Giants are pretty cool with Asgardians, which, well, I guess Loki's dad's still alive, so he's like a prince of their realm, and it seems to me that like Thor and Loki have like an even better, like friendlier relationship than they normally would have, obviously. And they use the term, "Oh yeah, you're my brother from another mother." So I guess the cosmos tend to have a way of working these things out. They're still brothers, just in a little different sense. Um, and of course the party does get out of hand, and plenty of landmarks get like messed up by Thor and his peeps. A lot of you know national security stuff going on, and just world governments like trying to figure out how to handle like all the destruction. Uh, and yeah, let's go on. Jane Foster plays a big role in this episode. She kind of sort of does the whole love at first sight thing that she did in the first Thor movie. Um, but she also tries to help Shield find a non-violent approach to handling Thor, since he is causing all this destruction. Um, and you know, it's not like destruction on purpose. He's just having fun. He's not like trying to hurt people. But people do get hurt. Maria Hill's the acting director of Shield because whenever Fury attempted to make contact, he got run into by Korg, and because Korg was trying to do a cannonball in the pool or whatever in the fountain, and so he's knocked out for the moment. But Shield calls in Captain Marvel to try and handle Thor, and this fight was probably one of the best ones I've seen from an MCU title. The artwork was pretty fantastic, and the banter that the two shared was also fun. You have like Thor saying, "Oh, there's a Midgardian word for women like you." And it's like, "You're a party pooper." I thought that was pretty funny. Uh, but ultimately in the fight, they seem to be kind of at a stalemate. If not Carol being like a tad more powerful because of her binary form at the end. Ultimately, the fight does end up getting interrupted uh, because Jane, like being the genius that she is, figured out how to contact Heimdall. Well, she figured out that there probably is a Heimdall for one, because there's a Thor and a Loki. Uh, and that there also be like an Odin and a Frigga, because oh yeah, this is all the Norse legends are true actually. Uh, and so she gets as she goes and meets Frigga and says it's about Thor. So Frigga, you know, calls Thor. She does a spell to do like a video call or some shit, and uh, and Thor's like, "Oh no, I'm not on Midgard. I'm in my room studying." And then like a polar bear comes up behind him. It's like, "Oh, you mean Earth?" See, they call it that here, so I got confused. But he ends up, you know, having to get the whole planet cleaned up before Frigga arrives because she says she's gonna be there any moment, and you have him like fixing all the stuff that they broke, and he like, even though the Leaning Tower of Pisa was already leaning, he like straightens it up. He looks really proud of himself. I thought that was really funny too, and so he does end up getting everything cleaned up, I guess for the most part, and pretends to be holding a study session with everybody. Uh, and Frigg gets a little like confused that oh things look to be going pretty good, uh, and Carol does end up you know kind of backing up on this. She shows up with like an iPad with a lot of cultural information and stuff of the planet, and because that's what Thor said, he is doing a cultural exchange and learning field trip or some shit like that. Some BS. But whatever he calls he calls Mjolnir, and Mjolnir's got like graffiti over it and like some underwear or whatever on it. So cat's out of the bag with that at least. Um then after that, Thor goes and finds Jane and apologizes to her and agrees to take her on a date. But after he does that, like epic final boss battle Ultron appears through a portal. And, you know, big cliffhanger here. And from what we can tell, this is uh, an Ultron that not only completed his vision, like he created the vision body, transferred his consciousness into it, and then he was able to collect all the Infinity Stones somehow. Um, and just wow, there's a few things that don't add up, like, you know, how the Infinity Stones are, you know, I guess working in other universes. I think the writers didn't know because this was being written before they even they wouldn't have known about the what was going on in Loki. But you know, this seems like an oversight that they should have seen. I guess I don't know. It's not that big of a deal. It's you know, it's a what if story. But it also got like some cool, you know, Ultron style armor on top of the Vision body, and he's got like some like an army of Ultrons coming in with him, and the Watcher seems like really confused by what's going on. So I think in this next episode we're probably gonna get into our you know multiverse Avengers um episodes. So yeah, looking forward to that. And yeah, I think about that. I think that's about it. I'm excited for the next episode. And you should be too. Anyway, this is StellarVision, and of course, our friendly neighborhood Spider Man. And with great power comes great responsibility. And I hope everybody has a stellar night.